A couple of days after the last episode, I did actually notice roots were showing from the Malabar spinach that I put in a jar of water to root. So I'll see if I can find you the best one, because I know it's going to be very hard for you to see roots. Let's take them all out and show you. Okay, I don't know how well you can see that, but that is a root, one big root curling upwards. And as I said in the last episode, I had noticed they were still budding and growing on the top. This is like the vine piece I took off. So wait until you see your Malabar spinach vining, creeping along, and they're the bits you want to take off to root. There's one, and I just keep them in a jar of water, and I was told they would root. Oh, this is a really good one. Look at him, he's awesome. Look at all those roots. I'm guessing now I should pot these. It's my first ever time growing Malabar spinach. Thanks Josh from my New Yard Homestead for sending me these. So yeah, I think I'm going to pot these then. Let's see if they all rooted. No, this one's not rooted yet, so he's going back in the jar. He's going to sit in there and root again, but I'm going to put these two in pots. This is my second lot of Malabar spinach that I've had in a jar of water to see if it'll root. I did leave one of the last ones in that had a root, but not plenty of root yet. I've just tipped the water out, so let's see how many of these have rooted. I've tried different ways, leaving big leaves on and stripping them back, and using multiple cuts from one piece of vine. So let's see. Okay, well, I'm guessing this is the one I left from last time. I'm trying to actually film it in the shadow of the camera because I think it'll be darker. And there's the root. So that one can now go in a pot. Oh, it's got several roots on. Let's put it in the, I'm trying to put in the darkest bit. There's some root there. And the others, again, like last time, they are continuing to grow. Can you see in this leaf, there's a bud, and that's what happened last time. And I said, oh, the buds are growing. It's still growing, but it's not rooting. So I know that's going to take a little longer to root. So that one's going back in the jar. So these are all the second times. And again, this one is budding. There you go, I think you can see that better now. It's budding. So that will go back in water. Same with this one. You can see better there, probably the bud. So that will root. I know now it will root after the budding. Again there, you see all the budding going on. No root as yet. It did take some time for them to root before, once the buds have really established. And again, as you see, I've experimented this time, leaving some big leaves on as well to see if they still root, and I'm going to say that probably will, because it's budding. And today I clipped some more from the vine that I will also add to the jar. So from one seed of Malabar, I grew a Malabar plant, which you see in my hugel beds, and from that I have got multiple ones. I'll show you how the ones that already rooted are going on. So I did 2 roots, planted out from roots. Here's one. This has become like another vine. This is what I cut off before, a vine part. So I'm guessing now, because I've got this piece here below, I could technically cut this bit off, but obviously I want to establish it a bit more. But this is how I did it initially. Let's assume this was a whole Malabar plant with a vine like this. This is the bit I cut off, and my new experiment was cutting multiple parts down this one bit of vine and putting them in the water. So that's the one that's grown like a vine. And the one behind it, much more successful. It's looking like a proper Malabar spinach plant. So thank you, Josh from In Your Yard Homestead. I'm having fun with these and we're enjoying eating them too. Colin wants to know if it's time for a live yet. And the very first squash I've now transplanted out here. There's 5 altogether. Obviously I'm going to keep these half water bottles on top of them, keep them cosy, and being a raised bed, they've obviously got moisture in there. I have been putting the olive leaves that I've slowly been cutting down in there, and also some trimmed grass, so it's going to be nice and moist. And as that trimmed grass breaks down, apart from the moisture it's giving now, it will break down and keep them all cosy. I'm very careful to always transplant them completely with my compost that they were in, and to disturb them as little as possible. And as you can see, it's very sunny in Cyprus, even though this is our winter. This is quite a typical day. You can have some rain, and it gets cold very first thing in the morning from overnight. But on the whole, this is why a lot of people pick Cyprus, because you don't have the cold and the wet that you have in other European countries, even when they're having hot summers. So if you don't like the rain and the cold, this is an option for you. We do get seasons. We don't get fall or autumn. We go straight into this weather, which, if you like, our autumn stroke winter is like another spring, i.e. you can have cold, you can have rain. Obviously depends on the region as well. You can ski in the highest part of the Troodos Mountains some years, but you can, as in California, then go and swim in the sea in the lower regions on the same day. So pick your regions with care, but you can have whatever seasons you prefer. Here's Mr. Colin Waffles, again asking, is it time for a live? Yes, Mr. Colin Waffles, I know it's Monday and Wednesdays for live, but not yet. Later. So the 11th of January, I've just reseeded quite a lot of stuff, cleared up and moved around. Things are doing well, such as the Jackby Little pumpkins. You can see some in there. There's a lot there, very strong. I've just transplanted these. There's still a couple in here, but I've reseeded with the last of my Jackby Little pumpkin seeds from Josh from In Your Yard Homestead. The chives never came up at all. I've just re-watered it just in case, but no chives unfortunately. The ace tomatoes are all doing well in there. That's a whole section on the back of the table there. My Malabar spinach, no more rooting showing yet, but these are the previous ones. Really healthy and with buds. I've got 3 going here. That's the second one. And the third one was the very end of the vine initially, and still is obviously very viney but doing well. I'm just keeping it cosy. And then the okra is doing well. I've just put seeds in a couple more cups of okra from my seeds. So there's those. I've just transplanted a lot of peppers. I've just split them, made them more individual. They've got more space to grow, and that's all this area is peppers. All of these, all peppers everywhere. The top row is anything I've added seeds to that I already had earth in. So we've got more cucumber, more grapes, more mini munch, more cantaloupe melon, carrots, pawpaw, more white kohlrabi, and more of the Timmy Market where we bought the long red strong chili peppers. I've planted 2 more rosella. I'm really hoping they come up because I want rosella badly. Medium plum tomatoes. Just put, this was the Christmas cake lid from Boris, one of our volunteers. So thanks Boris, I've got a really good deep, I don't know if you can see that, a deep cover. Great for gardening. And then we've got more plum tomatoes, 2 pots of those I've just transplanted, and some more vine tomatoes in these. Then yet to finish doing, I've got red cherry tomatoes there. I want to put more seeds in those. And we've got more tomatoes here. These need transplanting because they're quite tall now and they're only in little pots. And these baking trays, I think they're for loaves. They were from my friend Sue, and they are absolutely the perfect size, look, for the mini pots. Excellent, fantastic. There's more behind here. More tomatoes, and radish. So that's all right now. As I say, I'm going to add some more seeds because I've got lots of space again, and everything outside is as I last showed you. So look out for the next episode to see the progress, and then it obviously will go on to the hugel bed episodes when everything's planted out, and the raised bed episodes as things get transplanted out. But this indoor garden series will continue for this year until there's nothing else growing indoors. So look for what I will be planting next indoors.